Hi, good morning everybody. This is Reads with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here and I'm looking forward to chatting with you in this video. This video is a really exciting one. I'm super excited about it. I'm so excited that I'm now like bending over and standing at an awkward angle just to be able to have this conversation with you. I've just finished recording the book series that I'd like to finish this year video, which I'll be editing later today, but I thought what a great opportunity to start this challenge. So this is definitely not an authentic idea. I haven't thought of this idea myself. All credit goes to Books with Emily Fox. But in order to get through her TBR, what she does is she creates little TBR jars, and these jars have all of the names of the books on her bookshelves. And then she will go through and pick some out and start reading them, and she either unhauls them or reads them a whole way through. I don't know if you can tell, but I have quite a collection of books, right? And there are a lot on here that I have not read. So I decided to do this challenge for myself a few months ago, and I picked a few out. And even though I have DNF'd a couple and they are going to be unhauled, there's also been a couple that have been incredible. So I thought, let's do a vlog of this experience. Let's do it together. I've got this book that I started a couple of weeks ago due to pulling the name out of the jar. I am only about 28 pages in, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to also work through this book. But let's pull out a couple more together and see what we'll be reading over the next few days. So this one is all of the books behind me, except for if I have purchased in a hard copy one of the books in the series, but the first book is in the Kindle. I haven't popped it in here. And also if I have a full series or a couple from a series in hard copy, I have only popped in the first in the series. So let's pick together. All right. I think we should probably pick 2 or 3 because I feel like surely some of them I will DNF, surely, because I do a lot of market purchases, a lot of secondhand purchases, and yeah, I feel like this will be a good way to start working through those. So I've picked 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's open them together. Okay, so the first one is Binge by Tyler Oakley. So where's that? There you go, a library copy. I purchased this from a library book sale, but that will be one of the books that we'll be reading in this vlog. What's the next one? True Evil by Greg Iles. Let's grab that one. Oh, where is it? Up here. So, True Evil, Greg Iles. So this looks like this is about an FBI agent whose wife is attempting to kill him. I know it says $3 on the cover, but I got this out of a little library, so we'll see. Could be interesting. And the last one. Oh, I've been wanting to read this one for ages. Okay, where is that? There it is, The Kite Runner. Okay. So this is set in 1970s Afghanistan. It's a classic. I'm super excited, actually. This is quite a good collection. It's a bit of variety. I was really worried that I would have like several mystery thrillers just to work through. But yeah, cool. So I'm going to leave it here. I've got a bit of editing to do. I'm going to catch up with some friends tonight, but I will start these books and fill you in on the process as we go along and how I'm progressing. And we'll keep this around just in case I DNF all 3, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I've heard such good things about this one. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, I'm super tired today, so I decided to sit down and just really take some time reading the chapters the first few chapters of these books, and I've started with I Heard That Song Before by Mary Higgins Clark. I started again from the start because I couldn't remember what had happened, so I'm about 55 pages and 7 chapters in. So it starts with Kay being 6 years old. Her father is the gardener for the Carrington estate, and she has been brought along for this emergency maintenance task, and proceeds to venture into the building and witness this argument about money between two of the people in the estate. So that's the prologue, and then from there it's 22 years later. So she's going to this meeting at the Carrington estate with the son, who is now in control of the property, to ask if she can hold this charity event at the estate. Peter has been involved in 2 homicides, which there's been no evidence to state that he was the one that did the events. But they are one of his ex-girlfriends and his ex-wife, who was pregnant at the time. So the mother of the girlfriend that was first reported missing has just found out that she's terminally ill, so she has hired an investigator to look into this case so that she can get answers before she dies. So that's where we're at the moment. I know that the character Kay, who has asked to run this charity event at the estate, is then going to marry Peter. I don't know why yet, but I am assuming that it is going to be crazy. People with money. It always gets a little bit crazy. I've never read Mary Higgins Clark before. This is the first one I have read. I've got a couple of her other ones, so I'm intrigued enough to continue, but I am going to have a look at the other ones now and see if they are ones that I am going to read or going to DNF. So watch this space. Just taking a small tea break. I have read a few chapters of Tyler Oakley's Binge. I'm about 55 pages in, and it's okay. It's just, it was published in 2015, so he was quite young at the time. I think he was probably like 26. So, 26 is quite young to do a memoir. There's been brief mention of his body dysmorphia and his eating disorders. There's also been chapters on making money as a kid, things that occur in the toilet, the girlfriends that he has had because he's quite gay, also PORN, and birthday parties. So it's been interesting so far, but I will continue to read it. It's interesting enough for me to continue. But for now, I am going to pick up the next book, which will be True Evil, and I'll read a couple of chapters of that and see how we go. Oh, hi. It's been a couple of days. I didn't do a lot of reading over this weekend, but it's Sunday morning. I'm feeling shocking. I don't know, the start of the week I felt amazing. I was getting so much done. And then from Wednesday on, I've just been absolutely exhausted. So I'm giving myself some space to breathe today, and I'm going to keep reading. I did make a start on the Kite Runner and not really into it enough to be able to tell you anything so far. I've just met his father and his friend, and he's explained their relationships. Really excited to read a bit more of that today. And I did start True Evil. I'm still not 100% sure if this is one I'll go ahead with. I've read the first 32 pages and it's looking like it could be interesting. So I do want to continue, I think. But we'll see what another couple of chapters say. So it's been a couple of days since I read it. However, it started off with Alex, who is an FBI agent. She's just lost her sister. Her sister, in her last moments, told her that her partner was the reason that she was dying. She had a stroke.
And yeah, she's now showed up at this GP's office to let him know that she believes that he might be the next person. So it looks like it could be this big plot about, a whole heap of rich people making the decision to unalive their partners so they don't have to deal with divorce settlements. So yeah, we'll see. I've got not much on today. I'm getting some groceries delivered soon. So I'm really going to lean into resting today and read as much as I can from not only these books, but also some of the other books that I'm reading, because I'm really, I'm into book 11 of the St. Mary's Chronicles, so obviously I don't want to put that down either. But yes, I'm going to make a real effort today to work my way through some of these books, so I'll keep you updated. So it's been a few hours and I just finished I Heard That Song Before by Mary Higgins Clark. I was going to sort of read a couple of chapters of each book today, but yeah, this one really hooked me in. I enjoyed the suspense. I didn't figure it out, so it was a nice surprise at the end. The twists were interesting. Yeah, I didn't mind it, so that's good. That's exciting. But yes, it's now 3 o'clock, so I have been napping and reading fairly consistently today. So I will move on to one of the next books. Talk soon.
Hello, my darlings. It's been a little while. It's been over a week since I started this vlog, and to be honest with you, I haven't quite finished all the books that I picked. But this is just because I have had some really exciting news that I am moving house in a couple of weeks. So I've been a pretty busy gal. But I thought let's finish up this video with a little bit of a review of the books that I read and the book that I am partway through, because all of the books that I picked for this video I read. I didn't unhaul any of them. I don't know what's happening, but I'm okay with this. I'm getting through my TBR, and that's the main thing, right? So I guess I'll go in order of when I finished them. And I think I did explain a little bit about a couple of the books in the process of reading them, but yeah, let's talk about these books. So the first book that I finished in this vlog, if you'd call it a vlog, wasn't the greatest vlog, but anyway, I Heard That Song Before by Mary Higgins Clark. This was interesting. I kind of thought that it was going to have Rebecca or Verity vibes, and that it might end with that same sort of twist, and it kind of ran down the same themes, the same avenue, but it wasn't quite the same story. It was intriguing. There was a lot of twists and turns. I definitely didn't figure out the ending, but it makes a lot of sense, and I think a lot of other people would have figured it out. Let's be honest, if I wasn't as wired as I am with all of the preparation, I am sure that I probably would have picked up a bit more. But it was a really enjoyable, really easy read. I think that I rated it 4 stars, but I'd probably give it a 3.5. It was good. I enjoyed the book. Like I said earlier, I did have to restart it because I couldn't really remember what had happened. But yeah, it was really good. I did sort of think to myself that some of these characters were doing some really silly things, but it all worked out in the end, conveniently. So probably say 3.5. But good read. Will I keep it? I don't know. Will I read more of her work in this unhaul challenge? Probably. Because I have a few on the bookcase. But I don't know if I'll keep it. It's probably going to stay for a little while, but it may be in a future unhaul. I'm not sure if I'll read it again. So that was I Heard That Song Before by Mary Higgins Clark. After that, I read Binge by Tyler Oakley. If you don't know who Tyler Oakley is, he is a YouTube personality. He was one of the very first people that became famous on YouTube. He's friends with the likes of Hannah Hart. They were some of the first people to become famous on YouTube, and it was around the time that I was really starting to get into YouTube and starting to watch a lot of YouTube when I was a teenager. So I'm really glad that I picked this up. I'm really frustrated because I tried to remove the library sticky bit and they've actually glued the cover to the book. Rage. But anyway, so I can't get rid of this. But it was a good book. I did not know a lot about Tyler going into this. I hadn't watched his videos for such a long time. But it was good. It touched on a lot of different subjects and really interesting subjects. So if you know him, you know, it's great to get a little bit more insight. But he was 26 when he wrote this. So I wouldn't really call it a memoir. It would just kind of be my life so far. And it delved into being famous on social media. It delved into the One Direction scandals. It delved into his experiences with partners and DV and his first love. He did have an eating disorder when he was younger, and he did delve into that, but there is also some really funny chapters about bodily fluids and birthday parties and all sorts of things. So look, it's not the best written book I've ever read. It isn't I'm glad my mum died. You know, that memoir is kind of right up there. And nothing else quite compares. But I did have fun with this. I read it really quickly and I did enjoy it. So I would probably say it was about a 3 stars. I don't like to rate memoirs so much, but based on, you know, the enjoyability, I really did enjoy it, but it wasn't like blow me away and I didn't hate it. So if I had to rate it, it would be 3 stars. But yeah, good read. I recommend it if you, like me, grew up, you know, with the rise of YouTube stars. So that was binge. Then after that, I read this book, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But this book got me in the feels. I really need to stop going into books without knowing what's going on. I like to do that. However, I found that a lot of the books that I'm picking up have the same theme, and it's quite triggering. So please check for trigger warnings if you haven't read this. But if you have read this, you'll understand. You'll completely understand. The whole storyline, I didn't expect it to go the way that it did. I didn't expect the tie-in at the end. It does delve into the wars in Afghanistan. It delves into when the Russians invaded in the 80s. And it goes across the entirety of Amir's life, who is the main character. He has a very interesting relationship with his father. That triggers a lot of things that I really cringed over, to be honest, the behavior. And I found that even though there was a lot of character development, it still didn't feel like sort of a victorious story. Like, it kind of felt like he was... I mean, he did go for redemption and he did get that in the end, but it wasn't quite where I thought it was going to go. Like, I thought that there would be a bit more stronger development. I thought that there would be this big opportunity for a happy ending. And look, it ends relatively happy, but, and I guess that's just the reality of life, you know, but it's still, I couldn't put it down. So I read the first few chapters, and then I picked up the other book that I've started, which I will show you soon. And then I ended up picking this back up and I just devoured it. I think I ended up devouring the last 200 pages in a day. So it's good and the writing is great. But yeah, triggering, very triggering, and interesting character development, interesting storyline. Made me feel very grateful and appreciative of how lucky I am to be where I am, where there isn't any wars or any sort of conflict like this. And it does really make you rationalize your life, which is good. And it's always good to read a perspective that you don't know much about, and I really enjoyed that aspect of this. So yeah, I would give this a 4 stars. I'm going to definitely keep this one on my bookshelf. The triggers are something that greatly impacts me, so I don't know that I'd read it again, but I do want to keep it on my bookshelf because it is a good book and I did enjoy it. So yeah, that is The Kite Runner. And the last one that I haven't quite finished, I am 94 pages in, so I didn't get far. I'm up to chapter 8, but and yes, you'll see by my extravagant, beautiful bookmark that yes, I'm not finished yet. But True Evil by Greg Giles, 94 pages in. What have I got to say so far? It's interesting. There were a couple of times where I thought I might DNF it, only because it is more crime. You know, it's more crime angled, which, look, I enjoy that aspect. I love a good mystery thriller, don't get me wrong, but at first I was like, I don't know that I'm going to get into this, but I'm now hooked and I want to read more. So super excited to get into this a bit more. I just have not quite had the capacity to be able to do it before the end of this video, and this has gone on for so long. So this is, yes, one that I'm hopeful will be really, really good. I am looking forward to reading the rest of it, and I am, yeah, hoping to get it finished soon. So we'll see. But that is it, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me on this little vlog trip that I decided to take before I found out that life was upside down for a little while. So I'm only probably going to be posting once a week at this point, and some will be pre-recorded, but I will go into more detail when they come up. And then once the move is done, it's time to get back into it, and I've got loads of great ideas and I can't wait to share them with you all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, darlings.